Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haris Idlam bin Muhammad Azhar. Today, me and my friend gonna present on SAARC. Alright, let's begin our presentation. SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. It is an economic and geopolitical organization of 8 countries that is located in South Asia. The headquarters of SAARC is based in Kathmandu, Nepal. Mainly, there are 8 countries under this organization that are Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Bhutan, and Nepal. Wait, as April 2007, Afghanistan became the 8th members of the SAARC. Alright, we move on to the history of SAARC. In 1980s, the idea of SAARC was initiated by the President of Bangladesh, Ziaur Rahman, where he addressed a letter presenting about his idea and his vision on this organization to the head government of the countries of South Asia. And in 1981, the foreign secretaries of 7 countries met for the first time in Colombo, Sri Lanka to discuss on this matter. After a few series of meetings in Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India, they have reached a consensus and established an organization, namely the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. And the first summit was held at Dhaka, Bangladesh in 1985. And in 2004, the agreement of the South Asian Free Trade Area was signed. Next, for the objective of the SAARC, I will pass the floor to Brother Ali.
Thank you to Brother Idlan. My name is Ali Saifullah bin Azhar and I'm about to talk about objective of SAARC, and the first one is to promote the welfare of the people of South Asia and to improve their quality of life, and then to accelerate economic growth, social progress and cultural development in the region, and to provide all individuals the opportunity to live in their dignity and to realize their full potential, and then to promote and strengthen collective self-reliance among the countries of South Asia, and to contribute to mutual trust, understanding, and appreciation of one another's problems, and lastly, to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and scientific fields. And then we move to specialized body, and the first one is SAARC Development Fund, which is a comprehensive funding mechanism with provision of 3 windows, which is social, economic, and infrastructure, and then South Asia's University. And the third one is South Asia Regional Standard Organization, SAA organization. It is to harmonize standard and promote cooperation in the field of metrology, accreditation, and conformity assessment for enhancing the capacity of the respective national institution in carrying out their technical tasks. And lastly, SAARC Arbitration Council. It is established to resolve cost-effective settlement of dispute via arbitration within the region. And then we move to regional centers, which is to strengthen and promote regional cooperation and expect to evolve into centers of excellence in their respective areas, and lastly managed by governing boards comprising representative from all the member states, SAARC, Secretary General, and the Ministry of Foreign External Affairs of the host government, and it is located in Dhaka, Islamabad, and Sri Lanka. And lastly, this is the additional data about the countries, and that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Aditi 171128. So next I will proceed with the success and evidence for it. So the success of SAARC that we can see through all these years of their establishment are first SAFTA. SAFTA, or in the other words called as South Asian Free Zone Exchange, is introduced by SAARC to boost trade between the member states, and in December 1995, emphasizing that there was a need to understand this. So the contract was signed at the 12th summit, which was held in Islamabad, and in December 2005, the government of India has approved SAFTA and flagged it for its official launch on 1st January 2006, when it was hoped that all participating countries would lower interest by the 2016 deadline. So the second is South Asian identity. The most important achievement of SAARC are to bring the members of the states close and think about regional issues and identity. That is based on the positive aspect of the individual state, which should be attractive for the people of the SAARC countries to emulate. It is important not to think as a South Asian, but feel proud of the South Asian identity within the region. There is also the serious need to cooperate and contact among the people to improve cultural identities and break barriers among the people of South Asia. So the third is the SAARC Food Bank. The SAARC Food Bank was recognized originally to facilitate as an emergency source for facing a crisis in shortage or natural disaster such as floods, earthquakes, and such other issues. SAARC also have opened the South Asian University, which is another achievement by the member state. It is an international university established in 2010 by the SAARC desk. At this time, the university is offering postgraduate and doctoral programs in several disciplines. So the university aims to create center of excellence and produce leaders who identify themselves as citizens of the region with a common vision of success for both their home country and their neighbors. So next one is SAARC Development Fund. SAARC Development Fund was reorganized by the 8 SAARC members in 2010. So SDF was objective as to promote the welfare for the people of the South Asia region to improve their quality of life, economic growth, social progress, and poverty. This is also one of the achievements of the Regional Association for the Safety, Progress, and Prosperity for the people of South Asia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Zulaika binti Zulkafli, and I will proceed with the values of SRAAC. Okay, for the first one is the weak cultural identities. Okay, the South Asian region countries sharing a common history and the culture, and this division, however, have created some gaps. Okay, these gaps are commonly expressed through the ideas of the recognizable cultures. Hence, Pakistan wants to assert themselves as an Islamic state, and while calls India as a Hindu state. So these debates regarding identity are similarly going on in Sri Lanka and also for the Bangladesh. For the second one is the rivalry between India and Pakistan. India is a dominant country in terms of size and their economy in the SAARC region. So India's neighboring countries always felt insecure about India's ambitions, and thus any attempt to secure free trade area are met with the concern of Indian business mothering the domestic business of the other countries, and this in turn led those countries to use SAARC as an anti-India platform. For the third one is the India foreign policy actions. During 1971 war, Indo-Sri Lanka Accord continued to harm the neighboring countries. So India also has not forcefully spoke about the South Asian vision, and also the progressive ideas like the Gujarat Doctrine is not yet to be implemented. And this region is still fought upon with many unresolved border and maritime issues, including terrorism, refugee crisis, smuggling, and also the non-coal trade. Okay, for the Kashmir dispute, the territorial disputes over Kashmir remain the most divisive issue because both the states have already fought more than 3 wars in 1948, 1965, and also 1999 over the Kashmir issue. And the roots of the problem in Kashmir can be traced to the partition of the subcontinent in 1947, which both India and Pakistan claim to speak on behalf of the people of Kashmir. But neither of them has been prepared to discuss the demand of many Kashmiris for the independence. For the water dispute, this conflict between India and Pakistan over the distribution of water also created a rivalry between the Southern Asian states. The last one is the Charter of SAARC, which developed after a prolonged discussion among the political leaders of the South Asia, which was to avoid security problems and They will link these problems to national action and also bilateral or multilateral cooperation through other channels. So the objective of SAARC was set to enhance economic and other forms of non-military cooperation only. That's all from me. Thank you.
Now the question is it still relevant? The answer is yes, it is. We cannot deny the relevance of this organization because they play an important role to ensure peace and development in the region. This process, we call it as an effective economic integration, can only be implemented by a strong initiative of this organization. In the scope of connectivity, they have a big role to ensure more trade activities between the countries. For example, by improving transport and routes in their countries. The next point is to give awareness about environmental issues. Nowadays, environmental issues have turned out to be a great concern for the world citizen. For example, countries like Maldives, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, they are severely affected due to the changing climatic pattern. So, in this organization has a huge task ahead to make people aware about this issue. For example, maybe they need to initiate necessary steps to maintain ecological security. In the scope of education, more universities like the South Asian University in New Delhi should be established so that there can be more interaction among students and teachers. This eventually will help to overcome the problem of illiteracy to some extent. In this context, again, SARC as a regional organization can play the role of mediator to increase the spread of higher education in every country of the region. Next, they need to set up a dispute resolution mechanism to overcome the conflicts among its member states. So, this organization has a big role to play in the social sector by improving food security, health security, personal security, community security, and many more. Good governance also must be promoted in every country of the region. And in this context, this organization are responsible to work for the welfare of the people. Need to be mentioned also here, the freedom of women and child development also should be focused on.